Okay, this is going to be a behind the scenes tour of the VanDyne's Christmas display in Byesville, Ohio. This display is all, it's mostly incandescent, has a little bit of LEDs, but I would say about 80% is all incandescent. And it's a static display. It's not, it doesn't, it's not animated or sync to music or anything. But we have over 16,000 lights this year, and I've always wanted to make one of these, so thought I'd finally get around to doing it. We just got snow yesterday, so thought I'd go ahead and make it with snow. Let's see. I guess I'll start right here by the arches. I got 4 of these arches that go down the driveway on one side and then 4 on the other. So I got a total of 8, and there's 100 lights on each arch. Each one is 100. There's 100 lights of each. One's red, the other's green, then red and green. So that one, is red, green, red, green. So there's 800 lights total just in the arches. And the pipe is, I hate to say it, but I'm not really sure. I forget what type of pipe this is, but it's some kind of a plumbing pipe, I believe. But it's really flexible. And you just bend it around, it bends real easily. And they slip over some stakes. I got some stakes down there. I don't know if you can really see that, but they just slip over stakes and they stay fine. I mean, they don't blow down or anything. It's really quite simple. We got lights going around the bay doors here. This is really simple. I just tuck them in. You can pull these out, but I just kind of tuck them in. Done that ever since I was a kid. And I got lights going up the side. The only thing is you don't want to tuck them in too far, because otherwise, like if you push them in too far, you won't really see them from a great distance. It's kind of better to leave them a little bit sticking out, in my opinion. And on the main part of the house, I just got icicles. Just regular clear, hooked about every foot or so. I got a wreath there, and got these 3 little wire trees right here. Big one in the middle, 2 small on the sides. These look really good. They're really bright. They're really bright at night, and they look pretty sweet in my opinion. As you can see, I just kind of stake them. I haven't had any trouble. Nothing in the whole display has fallen over this year because of wind, and I'm pretty happy about that. Seems my wind problems are mostly over. But these look pretty nice. They're just clear. Just got clear lights on them. And then over here, I have some actual icicle lights. But these just twinkle. They're random sparkle. They're new this year. I thought those were kind of cool, so I just put those along the shed. And in the past, the wind would blow them, and it would cause one hook to give way, and they would all fall down on this side. Every year I had that trouble. So finally I put a stop to that by just putting some string. I just kind of tied some string to that hook and then tied it up there to another hook. And I have one there and one on the other side, and that stopped the problem. They don't do that no more. So I consider that a success. Oh my, that's a big icicle there. everything seems to light up pretty good in the snow, you know. Even though there's ice on them, they still light pretty nicely. And along the shed door here, I got these, they're called garland style lights. They're just kind of tripled. They go up and over the door. I put them here on the door because it's a perfect fit. I mean, they fit perfectly, so I just keep putting them there every year. And then these candy canes here, I got this idea off YouTube. Just kind of tripled them and zip tied them. Right there, it's a nice idea. Kind of gives it more of a cool effect, I think. These little tripled candy canes. Let's head into the garage here. Actually, I don't really have a big rat's nest of cords. A lot of people with big displays, they got a lot of cords, a lot of mess, and ours is pretty good size. I mean, over 16,000, but I don't really have a huge rat's nest of cords. This is just some of it. There's 4 timers that everything plugs into. This is just one of them. This is one timer right here. You see all these cords, they come in and they plug into this. And once they're plugged in there, this white cable just kind of goes right into the timer. And that works out really nicely. You know, I can kind of plug in as much as I want to it. As you can see, I got another space there. You can pop in 3 ways and just kind of plug in however much you want. These timers are pretty cool. These are digital timers. The first year I did timers, I did the dial kind, and I don't like those. They suck, in my opinion. I mean, I would set them for what I thought was 4. You know, I would make sure that it would be as close to 4 as I could get, and it would still come on at like 4:05 or 4:10. And if you had more than one of them, which I had 4 timers, 4 of the dial kind, they would all be out of sync real bad, and you know, one would come on, then 5 minutes later the other would come on, and I just didn't like the dial kind, so I switched to digital timers. And these are a lot better, lot better. You can get it right on the precise time, and all of them go off at the same time. Yeah, almost. You know, they might be a couple seconds off, but you know, for the most part, it works. Most of the wires, I have some of these bigger extension cords, but throughout the yard, most of the extension cords are these little 3-way extension cords, household. Yeah, they say indoor use, but I've used them for years. I've used them over 10 years for lights, and they work fine. I don't have any trouble with them being out in the weather. You can make your own extension cords, but I just have so many of these that I just use these mostly. You can daisy chain them throughout the yard, and most of the cords here I try to just kind of hide. You know, the snow kind of hides them pretty nicely, but I try to just kind of hide these cords. Sometimes they pop out, but it's mostly probably because I shoveled the sidewalk last night and it probably popped it out. And we go down the sidewalk here. As you can see, I got these lights that just kind of stake going down the sidewalk. Nothing real fancy about that, just they clip onto a stake and go right in. This little tiny tree here. It's I believe a 4-foot tree, maybe 4.5-foot tree. It's multicolor, and I don't put them together with the stand. I don't have them on the stand. They actually just go right over a stake. I just pound a stake in there and they go right in. And it keeps it from blowing down, and it keeps them looking nice and straight and even and doesn't blow around. And it makes it look more like a tree, in my opinion, when you stake them. And then on these trees here, I got one of these trees here. and another one over there. These are, I just branch wrap these. Branch wrapping is pretty cool. It gives it a really nice effect. I don't like doing it the other way, the old wrap around kind of way. There's 500 lights on this tree, 600 lights on that tree, and they're red. And you just make a ball. You just make a ball with the lights and just wrap them around. Try to get the main branches. And it looks really nice. It doesn't take too long, but they're kind of hard getting down. But and then down here, I got these giant C7 bulbs. Well, they're C7s, but inside of them is C7s. See, I just kind of got those going over the, or going around the tree here, the base of the tree, on this side and over there. Looks really nice. And over here, this is my tree line. I got these spiral tree line. I got spiral trees for the tree line. I got 7 of these spiral trees. They work out pretty nicely. They're all kind of even. Well, for the most part, that middle one's leaning, but anyway, as you can see, I just kind of got them staked, and none of them have blown over. The wind whips through them, and they don't fall if you got them staked. Even if you have the stands there, they can still be staked. So those work out pretty good. And here's the flower bed. The flower bed's just kind of got some random things in it. Just kind of did the, those are the twinkling icicles again on the wishing well. And then I got lights in this little small bush. Lights in that bush. Got these 3 little, these are LED, these little LED spiral trees. Then for the, I call this the beard. I don't really know what else to call it. I call that the beard part of the house. Anyway, for this beard part, these lights, they're clear and they're blue. I took 2 strands of, I took 1 strand of clear, 1 strand of blue, and I zip tied them. And I just kind of tuck them in. They get tucked in right here. I don't know if you can see that. That way they don't fall down. When you take them down, they just pull right off. And right here, this joy sign. I got a joy sign, a Santa face, or not a Santa face, I mean a Santa, and a Christmas tree. The fishing line's tied to them, and they're, I put a screw, I tucked the screw in under this, because they come up and it, you know, the pressure of this touching this will keep the screw in place. So I just popped the screw there and tied the string to it, or the fishing line to it, and then tied it to the joy sign, and it keeps it there. And from the road, it gives the illusion that it's hanging, like stuck to the wall, but it's not. Same thing with this here, this little Christmas tree. It's just tied by fishing line right to that screw. And it just keeps it there. It rocks a little bit, but you know, it don't fall, and that's the main thing. But that is one technique you can do if you want to hang stuff on brick. If you have this type of a setup, you can do that and just kind of tie them to a screw, hang them by fishing line. That way you don't have to drill any holes into the brick. Okay, first of all, I had to switch cameras. My phone camera ran out of memory, so I had to switch cameras, so this is a different camera. Picture might be a little bit different. But anyways, these this little artificial tree, that tree, the snowflakes, and the tree over there, they're all kind of in line with each other. I did that on purpose to kind of give it a nice little effect. And on the main part of the house, I got this wreath. That was pretty hard getting that up there. I just kind of went on the roof and actually put it on. That little that little attic decoration piece is what it's hanging on. There's a screw up there. The top screw is just kind of sticking out, so I hung it on it. Right here on the front porch, as you see, the wreath came on. The wreath is battery powered, so that way there's no cords going to it. It's a battery powered wreath, and as you can see there, it just kind of takes the batteries. Then you got this garland with clear lights around the front door. Have this little pot plant tree here. Kind of put the little tiny ornaments on it, make it look nicer. And there's another one of the timers. See, everything just gets plugged into that, and then it just runs right into the timer. Here's more of the tripled candy canes I have. Just kind of stuck them there, zip tied them. Got one. I always do red and green. I do red on the left, green on the right. A little Let It Snow sign. I thought this was pretty cool this year. This is new. It's a little Merry Christmas wooden sign. Walmart was selling these, and we just picked one up and put it there. Looks really nice by the door. Okay, on to the stars here and the mega tree. Yes, I have a mega tree. This mega tree is 15 feet, I believe. Well, actually, it's about 16 feet with the star. And, you know, it's just your average mega tree. Has 3 guide wires going to it. The real thick kind. I got the best guide wire I could find. And then they just go into these stakes. They're pounded in the ground real far at an angle. This mega tree is made out of PVC pipe, which is a big mistake. If you're gonna do a mega tree, don't use PVC pipe. This is the last year we're doing this. I'm gonna get probably steel gas pipe or something next year. And next year I hope to make it 20 feet. But see, the problem with PVC is it leans really bad. I mean, we tried and tried and tried to get that straight, and we just could not get it straight. It kind of bows. That's the problem with PVC. It'll kind of bow on you. And then these are just kind of these yard stars I bought at Big Lots. They were new this year. I never seen them before. I thought they were pretty cool, so I bought 2 of them to put on each side of the mega tree. But they're okay. I mean, they flare on their own and stuff, but they kind of do their own thing. They kind of flare for a bit, then go steady for a bit. I wish you could kind of select what they do, but you can't really do that. And I got them tied down by fishing line. I don't know if you can see that, but it just kind of goes to a stake. I got fishing line tied on this side and in the front, so they don't go anywhere. They're also staked. And putting these together was a bitch. Putting these together sucked. It took way longer than I thought it would to put these together. I'm never gonna take them apart. But going back over here to the mega tree, it's got 32 strands on it of multicolor. There's 32 strands, and they all kind of get staked. I don't have a base. I don't have a ring or anything. I just got them staked by these little stakes, these little light stakes, and they're just a foot apart, just 1 foot apart each one, and they make a circle if you stake them. So no ring required, no ring base required. I just stake them. It makes a ring, or it makes it look like it has a ring. And they just go to the top. The top, I really doubt you can see it, but at the top I got these little hooks up there where all the lights hook to. And then the star just kind of goes into a reducer. There's a PVC reducer up there that the star fits into. Okay, this is the little scene I have here. It's just an artificial Christmas tree with these gifts here. It's all staked, like I said. The tree is the same way. There's a stake under there and it just slips right over it and it keeps it right up. There's no guide wire on it either. There's a real thick stake, real long and thick stake that's just pounded in there, and I have it in real deep so it doesn't go anywhere. And then these presents are staked too. And I have LEDs on this tree, which I think that looks pretty cool, to be honest. And next to the Christmas tree and the presents are these deer. I got this little deer scene. The big deer are actually LED, and the small ones just incandescent, but they're all clear. And the deer are the warm white LEDs, so they actually look like the incandescent, so they actually match. They match pretty good. You can't really tell at night. Next to my deer scene is this homemade Merry Christmas sign. We built this last year. Just simple, made it, get a piece of wood, just drill holes through it and put the lights through it. It's painted black so you can't really see it at night. And then I got these stakes there that it sits on. And this worked out really sweet. I really like this sign. And it's all homemade too, which makes it pretty nice. In the back, as you can see in the back, just kind of a rat's nest. But it all comes together right here. All of there's actually 3 strands on here. There's a 100 count of green for the Christmas part, and there's 2 strands of 35 red for the merry part, and they all come together here. And it just plugs into the extension cord. And I have this little outlet protector on it. I just kind of stick that there. I don't put them on the female ends. I only put those on the male plugs, the top of the male plugs. I don't put them on the female ends because I heard water can kind of build up if you do that. So, like on the insides. So I only do those on the male plugs. And then as you can see, these stakes are just kind of screwed in there. I got those stakes screwed into the sign. Okay, and there it is lit. I just missed the timers kicking on by 1 minute. I was going to film them coming on, but it's okay. And that is it lit. There's the Merry Christmas sign, you can see. But that is it. Thanks for watching.